day. I want to be with you along the way. Nothing else will do.
So welcome back to EveryDay. Sarah and I have been talking for last week. We talked about things that you want to do if you were keeping a journal and how a journal can really help your growth walk as a person, your spiritual walk. There are so many different things that journals help us do, but now we want to take a week and talk about different tips to making your journal more interesting, more fun, because the key, and this is number one, is to begin each day just talking about that day and not beating yourself up for skipping a day.
Yeah.
I think Sarah was talking about how there's been periods of time where
I am not the most consistent journaler.
Yeah.
The journal I have now, I've been working on since like 2013. And so I would journal for probably a week or two, and then I might skip a year. And then I might just put in highlights of, man, this year we went to Mackinac Island. We had a great trip. And that might be all I wrote down. But then like the last month or two, I've been better about doing it, probably journaling twice a week, 3 times a week. And then just not beating myself up or trying to, sometimes you can play catch up, but it is difficult to do.
you're gonna miss days.
Yeah.
Life happens. Things get busy. Your routines change from time to time. That's okay. It's important, though, that when something happens, that you take the time to just take a few minutes. Just jot down what's happening at that moment. Because one of the key things that people have found is that your memories of that moment, your feelings in that moment, those are the keys that help you start to see the connections between one event in your life and another, and how it affects your future self, and how you interpret, how you feel about those things. It starts to affect you, over periods of time, whether it's days, weeks, months, years of your life. You can look back, and even if you just wrote for a few minutes, you may not get everything down in that moment, but as you're writing, and we talked about too, whether you're writing to yourself, whether you're writing to God, whether whoever you choose to write to or however you choose to express it, just write down those key things in that moment, and then you can always go back to it later. And if it's really important, it's something that's going to stick. You're going to go back and you're going to write about it in days to come. You're going to go back and you're going to reflect on it as the weeks and the months go by. If it's not really that significant, you're not going to go back to it over and over again. So don't beat yourself up if you skip days. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's the key to anything.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it and enjoy that time. And we're going to spend the next week just talking about really key tips that are going to help you have fun and enjoy journaling.